The new Autotune 2026 is not the same thing as Autotune Pro. Today, I will give you an in-depth tutorial on both of these so you can decide which one is right for you. The biggest differences are in the limitations. Autotune 2026 is a beautifully remodeled user interface that simplifies automatic tuning, but because of that, it has less features than Autotune Pro. So we're gonna start with Autotune 2026 because Pro does have all the same features. I'll explain what every knob and button does and how I like to set it. Then we'll move over to Autotune Pro, go over the additional features, and do an in-depth tutorial on that. I'll also be sharing some of my trade secrets, sneaky ways you can use the plugin you may not have thought about. I'm Kimera, vocal producer with well over a decade of experience producing and editing vocals. I learned from the best of the best while I was signed to Sony, and on my channel here, I love to help other singers get to work in their own home studios. So let's get right into it. All right, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to set your key, you'll know what retune speed is, humanize, flex tune, how to dial all those in, as well as how to edit your scale, how to get the natural sound versus the robotic sound, and some major tricks I use all the time. Starting with Autotune 2026. Let's give you the grand tour. Right here is our keyboard. This is supposed to represent the piano keyboard. These would be our black keys, our white keys down here. And you set your key by going right up here, click on key and scale. I know that I'm in D major. You can choose your key, whichever one it is. Or if you don't know what your key is just yet, let's just set this to chromatic, like I don't know what my key is. See that all of these are highlighted green. That is what it would look like if it was off. We can press play and watch what notes our vocal is hitting on the keyboard, and that will give us the hint as to what key we're probably in. If you don't know your scales yet, this will help you learn them pretty quickly. You'll start to memorize like which keys have which black notes, but this is not a music theory lesson, so let's just watch.
No need to slow. No, please don't go.
All right, cool. So I'm seeing F sharp, C sharp. So I took the guess that it was the key of D major. I actually thought I might have seen a G sharp, so maybe it's A, but I don't think I hit a G sharp in this little vocal snip. So it might be A, it might be D. Go ahead and close that. That is my scale. You can edit the key just by clicking any of the notes to toggle them on or off. You might have one non-diatonic note in your scale, like maybe we are hitting the F, so we'll add that back into the scale. Or let's say you are in the key of A, but you notice that you do not hit the G sharp ever, so you can go ahead and remove it from the scale. So that means if I'm ever singing too flat from the A, it won't pull it to the G sharp because I've disabled that note from the scale. Fun little tip. One thing I do find a little weird about Autotune 2026 is we only get one octave to look at of the keyboard. And if we actually like go lower than this to the B, it pops up here. I don't know, that just kind of messes with me a little bit. I do like to see the full keyboard, so I do like Autotune Pro for that aspect, because sometimes maybe I want to remove a note from the low octave but not from the high octave. In 2026, you can only do it to all of the octaves, so I'm not the biggest fan of that. I hope they release an expanded keyboard version. Okay, next big control to pay attention to is the retune speed right here. This controls how fast Autotune corrects your pitch to the nearest note in the scale. A slower speed is the higher number here. This is going to be faster. So slower speed's going to be more natural sounding. Faster is going to be more robotic, like this.
No need to slow.
All right. My go-to setting for retune speed's probably around 40. I like it to sound pretty natural, to be honest. The next parameter we have is called humanize. And what this is paying attention to is our long sustained held out notes. When you turn up humanize, what it's going to do is it's going to pay attention to when you're holding one note for a long period of time. It will reduce the retune speed of that long held out note in order to make it less robotic sounding, less like a sine wave. Typically, I keep mine around 30. If you had this all the way to 100, that would mean on your long held out notes, it's almost not tuning you at all. So I'll put that back to like 30. There we go. And then we have flex tune, and this is going to control how close to the pitch center you're going to be. Retune speed is how fast it corrects it. Flex tune is how much it corrects it. I always keep mine on 0. If you toggle from modern to classic, it actually just gets rid of flex tune. Flex tune was added, forget what year, but it was added later. It's not part of the original classic Autotune, but we like this. I see a lot of people using a little bit of flex tune. This is a little weird to me how it looks like when you turn it up, it becomes less flexed, but the opposite is actually happening. If we listen closely, the more flex tune I have, the less tuned it's gonna be, even though it looks like it's getting tighter. That's kind of confusing to me, guys, at Autotune. I need to check this because I feel a little crazy. If it's on 0, isn't it more tight? And if it's on 100, it's less tight? Let's listen.
No need to slow. No need to slow.
Yeah, when it's on 100, it is tuning me less, but the graphic on the screen is a little confusing because it looks like it's getting tighter. So just be aware of that. So I usually keep mine on 0. Some people do maybe 12, so it's not so precisely perfect. A little bit of give will give you a natural sound. That's actually pretty much everything you need to know about Autotune 2026. I mean, you do have low latency mode or high quality mode. I would change it to high quality when you're bouncing out your song. Low latency will take up less power, but the program will not run as well. You can detune your scale here if you want. And then if we click down here, there's this little gear icon. This brings you to the settings, and I just wanted to show you what pitch tracking is about. Autotune is designed to detect pitch and correct it. But if your vocal has a lot of breathiness or scratchiness, raspy, and sometimes if it's just very loud, you might start to hear Autotune making a little bit of glitching sounds. If you come in here and you turn this back quite a bit, you should hear some of that glitching go away because you're basically saying, Autotune, if you think I'm in a different octave, allow me to be pitch corrected to the wrong octave. That will actually still pitch correct you and it will be less glitchy. Kind of weird, but it's a thing. Lastly, we have some presets. I mean, there's only so many things you can do to change the settings. So I kind of think these are a little pointless, to be honest. It's kind of neat that DJ Swivel, Jess Jackson, Major 7, Zed, all these guys have put their factory settings in here, but all they're really changing is like the retune speed, humanize, or flex tune. So honestly, don't rely on the presets. Just find your setting that you like. My settings, I like 40 retune speed, humanize, about 30. Flex tune, I don't even touch it. I guess technically I am in the classic style and that works for me. But I want you to see what Autotune Pro is like. Here we go. So this is Autotune Pro, and right away I like to switch it to advanced view so I can see more stuff. So we do have some of the same parameters that we just saw. Our key is up here. You can choose what key we're in and then what type of scale. They have all the different kinds of crazy scales that exist. I really only ever pay attention to major or minor. But notice when I set it to major, it just grayed out the whole keyboard. That's a feature that I've never really understood why Autotune does it. And it seems like they actually got rid of that in 2026 version. So I set it to D-chromatic and then in not simple view, advanced view, I click set major, or you can set it to minor, whatever you're in. You see some of the same controls here. We've got our retune speed. I'm gonna dial that back to 40 how I like it. There's flex tune, there's humanize, but you also have this ability to like reduce or add vibrato, I guess. I don't really know. I've never used this. Add realism by minimizing or accentuating natural vibrato present in an incoming audio signal. I honestly feel like this is weird. Let's see what it sounds like.
No need to slow.
It's making my voice go like, well. I don't like that. So I'm gonna leave that at 0. Maybe it tones down some crazy vibratos. Let's hear it.
No need to slow.
Oh, that is weird. It did like kind of reduce some of the wiggles and wobbles in my voice, but it doesn't sound normal to me. I almost sound AI.
No need to
Pitchy AI, never mind. That's a weird comparison. But again, 0 for me. Sorry. No, thank you. That tracking knob is up here. I keep it to around 18 to 20, and I feel like that helps reduce any of that glitching. Sometimes it misfires, and I might be singing like this note right here, but it thinks I'm like up here. My tracking is lower. It's saying it's okay to be in the wrong octave. I don't know. It's weird. This song happens to be in major mode. It is in D major. Something kind of funny. I grew up playing the trumpet, and you know, I only really ever played easy songs because I stopped at the end of high school pretty much. And so we'd always play in major keys, and I just got really used to seeing major keys. Minor keys are relative to major, so you can actually program a minor key to be in major. It's just the relative major. And how to figure out what it is, I have a terrible bad habit trick. If I know that this is going to be a minor key, I choose the major key, which is D major here, but then I'll cheat and I'll just open this up and I'll count up 3 spaces. So 1, 2, B would be 3. Watch the black keys. Click, click. That's my relative minor. So B minor is the relative minor to D major. So a feature that Autotune Pro has that 2026 does not is formant shifting. By default, it is off, so we have to toggle that on. And if I want to, I can change the formant of my voice.
No need to slow. No, please don't go.
You can also transpose. I don't want that to play with the music because it will be weird.
No need to slow. No, please don't go.
That is actually a pretty neat feature. You have your detune here as well. So A equals 440 is standard. That means 440 hertz is an A. You can change this if you're like into sonic geometry. You can change this to A equals 432. And now it's going to be slightly lower tuned than the instrumental, so that's gonna sound weird. But if you know that's for you, then you know that's for you. I did forget to tell you about your input type, soprano, alto, if you're a low male, bass, or anything like that. Basically what this does is it just hints to Autotune what octave you're probably gonna be in, and it just helps it target your notes better. I guess there's some presets here as well. I don't think I've ever opened this folder. Female singer. 16. She's not a very good singer. Okay. I don't want to really go into graph mode, but there is an Autotune graph mode where you can edit your notes by hand. That's just not my thing. I'm doing a video on how to Melodyne right after this. So if you want to tune your vocals by hand, not automatically, check out my Melodyne video because it is just so good. If you're in Pro Tools in particular, you know that we have this thing called Audio Suite. So we can pull up a process in place only version of the plugin. This is going to be like bounce in place, render in place, depending on what DAW you're using. And this is where we get into some cool tricks that I use. Autotune will pull you to the closest note in the scale. And because of that, sometimes it's going to pull you to the wrong note. So if I were singing in D, notice that this D is really close to this D flat, C sharp, same thing. If I'm singing too flat, it's going to pull me to the lower note, and that's going to sound bad. So a cool way to cheat this, let's see if I can find an example. Okay, right there, notice that I hit a G, but I'm not hitting that F. So what I'll do, I didn't sing it very pitchy, so it's not a good example, but if I were pitchy, this is what I would do. I would select the area that I want to process in place, open my audio suite or render this in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit the scale to not let me hit this note that's gonna make me sound flat. And then I can audition it.
Please don't go.
Render that in place, and now when you listen, and we'll watch in our regular Autotune.
Please don't go.
Notice how it didn't even ever so slightly touch the F sharp because I processed it in place to not allow F sharp. So that is a way you can fix things if you have Autotune on, but it kind of messes up because you're more pitchy that day. Another thing you can use that for is to like isolate one note and really perfect it. So need, let's pretend that was really pitchy. Advanced view. So I'm just gonna click the all button and that removed all notes. You can also set all notes. I'm going to audition it, pressing the preview button, and that will show me visually on the scale what note I'm probably singing. Okay, this is actually a good example. So I kind of went a little sharp, but I am going to click on this, which is a B, and then I'm also going to allow other octave Bs just in case, process that, and now that is going to only be allowed to be a B.
No need to slow.
So that is another trick that I use a lot. One more super weird, fun trick. I have some videos on how to make vocal chop drops, and I use this technique with Autotune rendering in place to force a note to be the wrong note for neat, choppy, fun purposes. So to do that, I would open up my audio suite, set my retune speed to 0, right? And then choose what note I want it to be. So instead of the B, maybe it's an E. Let's see.
No need to slow.
Cool little technique. You might use it for some special effects reasons. For a way better example, go check out the video on how to make vocal chop drops with Kato Zane. It's in my playlist for demoing plugins on vocals. Okay, yeah, so I just feel like I have so much more control in Autotune Pro. I will not be making the switch right now. I would need to see Autotune 2026 come out with a 2026 Pro version with an extended keyboard, because being able to do things like this, force it to do a certain note, if I tried to do that in 2026, it would only pitch it to the closest note. I couldn't choose to hit like a lower octave. If I wanted to, I could do that right here. I think that sounds so cool, but I can't do that in 2026. If you found this helpful, please make sure you click the subscribe button. I release vocal production videos every single week. I think you'll like this playlist next. You can browse different techniques and plugins that I go over. So click here and I'll see you in the next one.